Here's one thing most successful guys wasn't warned about, and it's the better you do in life, the more your energy drains. And that's not because you're unhealthy, not because you're undisciplined, but because success creates a level of pressure a lot of guys were never trained to manage. And if you don't understand how energy actually works, success will quietly strip you of that. And this is why the majority of high performing guys that I work with go through dips of feeling exhausted, tired, and disconnected. Even though on paper they're winning, because here's the thing, the higher you go, the thinner the air and the more the energy cost. Because when we look at where you are right now in life, you're carrying a ton of responsibilities, you're making key critical decisions all day long. The people that rely on you, team members, staff, clients, family, at times getting pulled from pillar to post. You've got less time, so there's less margin for recovery. And let's be honest, there's a lot less room to be reactive where you are right now in life and business. Because as you know, success, it doesn't reduce pressure, it just concentrates it. This is why energy and capacity are your two fundamental pillars when it comes to sustainable performance and longevity. But one thing I do see with a lot of guys, they get energy and fitness, they get it mixed up, they get it confused. Like for example, you could be strong as hell in the gym, but be totally exhausted. Like the amount of times I've seen strong lads and I've been behind them up a set of stairs and they've been gassed panting at the top. Same on the flip side, you can be shredded, you can be lean, but disconnected, dysregulated, reactive. Think about times maybe in business when you've been super productive, but you've burnt yourself out. You've got home, again, tired, dysregulated, reactive, you're lacking presence with your family and your children. Because here's the thing, energy is not just one thing, it's a trifecta. So we've got neurological element, you've got emotional, and you've got physical. Because energy isn't how fit you are, it's quite literally how regulated you are. So we need to get a good understanding and clarity of where these energy leaks are before we get that collapse. So 5 main areas and elements that I see with the guys I work with. And number 1 is decision fatigue. Number 2, it's nervous system dysregulation, overload. Number 3, identity pressures. Number 4, poor transitions. And number 5, no recovery architecture. So let's walk through all 5 one by one. Number 1, decision fatigue, which is by far one of the biggest energy killers. And a lot of guys, they spend a ton of energy just thinking and deciding and not doing. So take a quick audit. How many micro decisions and choices are you making before 9 a.m., 12 p.m., 3 p.m., which you could offload, which you could delegate. So what default settings can you put in place that's going to reduce that cognitive load? Think about what systems you can put in place. Systems around your AM startup routine, fitness, nutrition, PM routine, your sleep. Because what you want to think about is the more choices and decisions you're making, you're emptying that willpower bank and just increasing that cognitive load. Number 2, nervous system overload, which is a common denominator with the majority of successful and high performing guys. Because here's the thing, when you're always switched on, when you're always chasing, always reachable, in the thick of it, dealing with stress on a day-to-day basis, and you're not having that time away to regulate and disconnect, you're quite literally living in a sympathetic overdrive, which quite literally bleeds your energy. So without getting into the depths of it, if you're not managing your morning and regulating your nervous system, which ties back to my last video, your day is just going to run riot. Okay, so what do? Quite simply, bake in some breath work, time to disconnect, get some natural light, a bit of movement, walk in nature, just small pockets throughout the day is going to help regulate that nervous system. Number 3, identity pressure. Now, this is huge, okay, because success and achievement, they bring identity load. So think about how you're showing up and how you're operating on a day-to-day basis in business, with clients, social environments, your family home, okay, you're the provider, you're the leader, you're a role model, You're that strong one. You're that guy who never slows down. And most men, they're just exhausted from carrying these different hats and masks that they're wearing on a day-to-day basis. So this helps us segue and transition nicely into drain 4, which is 0 transitions between these different domains. And number 5, no recovery. Because modern life, remove the pauses. Think about how you're operating on a day-to-day basis within these domains. Meeting, phone, work, family, kids, phone, meeting. This just compounds over time. And when we've got no downshifts, no like decompression, and we don't have a healthy transition in place, the stress just stacks and compounds over a period of time. And this basically leads to number 5, which is like recovery then becomes accidental, not intentional. And one thing I need you to understand is recovery is not just sleep, recovery is capacity and it's energy management. A founder that I've just started recently working with, externally successful, but internally, he was depleted and training wasn't the issue. He was training well. His sleep wasn't the whole issue neither. It wasn't until we actually pulled the curtain back and had a look under the hood by doing an energy assessment that we found all these energy leaks. And what actually changed? Well, number 1, he got awareness of these energy leaks. Number 2, some basic morning and evening regulation. Number 3, a minimum standard with some training, breath work. And number 4, some identity anchoring. And what was the result? Well, number 1, more energy, obviously. Lost a bit of weight, just feeling sharper and more on the ball throughout the day. And he was more present with his family because he could switch off. Because here's the thing, we're not actually adding more, we're just like removing and taking out these energy leaks. And as a high performing guy, you must focus on building capacity. Just like I said at the start of the video, energy and capacity are your 2 fundamental pillars for sustainable performance and longevity. So how do you get started? Well, first and foremost, let's get control and manage that morning routine. So if you watched last week's video, the link's below. You can start with a morning energy routine because we want to be focusing on building that capacity before life demands more. Let's switch on.